Hello there. I'm going to talk about shadow work. Now, I did do a video at the very beginning of my channel about shadow work, but I'd like to do a new one with more clarity, with more understanding as I've worked and evolved with clients in the process, and understand more of how this works on a multi-dimensional level. Firstly, what is shadow work? Shadow work is simply recognizing, shedding light on shadows in your life. What are shadows? Shadows are unacknowledged, unvalid energy aspects of ourselves, usually in the form of a repressed emotion. Our emotions are the doorway to our evolution, the feelings. This is where we vibrate. This is where we change frequencies and change channels. So all healing work, for it to be effective, needs to go through the heart, the seat of the soul, the door to source, to the divine, our heart. And the language of the heart is vibration and frequency. So when we do shadow work, we work with vibration, which is feelings. So it's fine to have counseling and coaching and psychotherapy, that's all talk. But ultimately, if you really want to heal, you need to tap into feeling. Feeling goes beyond the limits of our English or human language. And this is where shadow work is dealing with. We're dealing with feelings. Now, often feelings are trapped in the idea of time and space. That's how we perceive our experience in this human body and mind. So we use this in our healing work, in shadow work. I use this in my timeline therapy. I understand and use this approach because it is through feelings or vibrations that we tap into the portals to manipulate the very strands of time and space. So that's why we do a lot of time travel, if you like. We go back in time, we find the memories that you first recall feeling these strong feelings. Now, when we're just kids, when we're in the theta brainwave state, the hypnotic brainwave state, we're receiving all these different bits of data, millions of bits of data in every moment. We don't have the ability to cognize or to strategically or to dissect information. We don't understand the differences between nuances and sarcasm and divergent thinking. There's just black and white when we're children. So it really did depend on our caregivers. Now, if we had caregivers who taught us it was bad to feel certain emotions and feelings, we suppress those. A part of ourselves becomes fractured and it never gets to grow. And this is inner child wounding. That part of the child shatters. So when we do shadow work, we're shining light on these fractured parts of ourselves so that they can heal and become whole again. How do we do that? We validate and acknowledge that that child had every right to feel that emotion, that it wasn't allowed to feel, that our culture and our parents said was bad and judge. We finally go back and we acknowledge, you can go feel that emotion. You can give yourself full permission in this moment during this healing to feel that emotion. Now, when we finally shed light on a shadow, in other words, when we finally feel a deeply suppressed emotion, it gets to be released from our body-mind complex. We say goodbye to it once and for all. We unblock that channel that we've carried, that block our whole adult lives, that we continued to repress until one day we realized we didn't want to do it anymore. It was time to release it. And so often we're compelled to find somebody to help us out of that, a therapist or whoever it might be. But you'll find that when you're ready, when you finally pray and meditate and ask for help to unblock these traumas and habits in your life, then you'll find the process through feeling. You might do it on your own, or you might have a facilitator, such as someone like me, coach and counselor, to guide you through that process. It does require extreme vulnerability. Shadow work is admitting you got to feel to heal. So this is why a lot of people avoid shadow work, avoid deep healing, because they're ashamed of feeling. That's something our culture is taught. It's very feminine to express. But in our masculine society, we're taught we shouldn't feel like that. Okay, so this is a deep flaw of our current culture. If you want to really let go of habits and traumas, finally be free, you have to embrace the fact that you're a feeling being and you need to feel. And you'll find that when you do the process of shadow work, you'll feel lighter, like a burden has been lifted from your shoulders. That heaviness, that fogginess, that overwhelm, that constant anxiety and stress will slowly lift, and you'll have more clarity, more ease and flow in your life. And this is why we do shadow work. So we're not dictated by our blocked emotions. We can be free, and we can channel that flow of love from the divine instead and be a light for others. And this is a valid reason to do shadow work, to shed light inside the dark corners of your being. And so I would highly encourage you to do shadow work. If it's not something you've heard of, look into it. It's time to shed light on those shadows. And I can attest it's a very powerful, radical process that will change your life for the better. So that's shadow work, very basically covered here today. If you'd like to give it a go, you're more than welcome with myself. There's a link in the description where you can book a free 1-hour session with me if the time zone permits. And I would love to help you with that. In the meantime, look after yourself, allow yourself to feel. It's part of being a human being, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of the process of releasing energy, and there's a way to do it consciously, and that's shadow work. So have a beautiful day. Bye.